Hello, 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 and good morning, everybody. So we got some new documents that just dropped. They just went up on the site. So I'm going to bring those to you guys. Now there's a lot of things that we're going to go over. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Nana. Hello, Dawn. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time zone you're in. Good morning, Alicia. Susan. Good morning. Cat H. 41 months. Woohoo! Kate Bell, good morning. Good afternoon. Vera, good morning. Thank you. More broke, good reason for a blow yard off and enjoy your show. There you go. Git, hello. Panda, hello. Hello, everybody coming in. Okay, so let me get this up on screen for you. Okay, so these just dropped. It does say right here, date filed June 25th, but they just dropped on the site now. Hello, Ruth. Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so we already knew about one lawyer that is going to be sort of kind of representing him. We don't know because he's not on the record yet. There's a big difference of just representing for a first appearance or for a bail hearing or something like that. We don't know if they are actually going to put themselves on record. Once they put themselves on record, it's kind of a little harder to get off the case once you've put yourself on record. Okay, so I've seen a lot of people commenting that there's a lawyer that's going to do this pro bono. I highly doubt that. So here is the first one, entry of appearance. Undersigned counsel Jane Fisher. Give me a 1 in the chat, you guys, if you guys can hear me. Hello, listen. Ruth. Hello, hello. Put a 1 in the chat, please, if you can hear me. Okay, undersigned counsel Jane Fisher Brylson of Fisher and Brylson PLLC hereby enters her appearance in this matter on behalf of Barry Morphew and hereby requests copies of all filings, discovery, and case-related information be sent to his attention. Okay? To his attention. So this is them saying that they want Barry Morphew to have all of the discovery and filings. This is a female. So when it says to be sent to his attention, they are saying that Barry Morphew is to get copies of everything. Thank you, everybody, for the ones. Thank you, thank you. Now, this also tells me that they have not committed yet to representing him, but he is entitled to have all his documentation. This entry of appearance is made in a limited manner for the purposes of initial appearance. Okay? This is just for his first appearance. They are not committing and putting themselves on record. Okay? You're going to see this too. Here is another one from David Beller. And he basically says the exact same thing. Undersigned counsel David Beller hereby enters his appearance in this matter on behalf of Barry Morphew and hereby requests copies of all filings, discovery, and case-related information to be sent to his attention. This entry, again, is made in a limited manner for purposes of the initial appearance. So they are both going to be there for his initial appearance. Now, whether they put themselves on record then or not is going to be something different. Like I said, I've heard a lot of people saying that this guy here is doing this pro bono. I don't believe that for 1 minute. No lawyer is going to work on this kind of case pro bono. The only way that he would put himself on record without any actual money as a retainer is if Brian, I got Brian Koberger on my mind too, because I've been watching that case too for the judge's order, is if Barry signs over some kind of property to him, and only in the amount, like say he still owned the Puma path. He doesn't, but say he did. Say the property is worth $1.7 million. He would say up to $1 million that he could put a lien against that property for his to act as a retainer. Okay, we've seen that happen in the Chad Daybell case where he put his property in the hands of his lawyer, and there would be a lien against that property for any amounts of lawyer's fees. Now, we haven't seen any of this yet. Okay, any of it. So right now they are saying this is for a limited matter for the purposes of the initial appearance. They're going to have to get together with Barry and figure out how this retainer is going to be paid, and it's going to be huge, huge. So there's these two lawyers right here, Jane Fisher Brierson and David Beller. They're from different law firms. She's from Fisher and Brierson, and he is from Rec Cornfield. So it's going to be interesting, you guys, to find out. We still do not have, as soon as I seen these documents, I did go to see if there was an appearance yet. If he's on the court docket, he's not on the docket yet. I believe because this has been filed that he is on his way back to Colorado. So I believe he will be back in Colorado. It's not even really that far, Phoenix, Arizona to Colorado. So either he's already there and they don't have him on the docket yet for whatever reason, or they're not putting it. But if not, he's going to be there, I guarantee you, by Friday. We are Thursday today, so today or tomorrow, he is going to be there. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over, because I've been hearing a lot about this, Barry Morphew has pretty much secured all his finances. Now, I've been hearing a lot of talk about the home that Barry Morphew put under his daughter's name. It's actually a quitclaim. It is now under his daughter's name, which means he's just transferred it to his daughter. This home, and I've got it here, This home was a property that he had owned with his mother. Okay. So I'm going to show you where it's changed from Barry, just Barry, to Mallory, which you see on screen right now. I don't know if his mom maybe has passed away, because then it would be just in his name. But I have heard through a reliable source that this property was under Barry and his mother's name. His mother was living there. Okay. So he has current owner. You can see right here. There's a few things in this I want to show you guys. As of June 26th, she is the owner. We've got the exact dates and everything that it went into her name. But this is the property in Noblesville, Indiana. Okay, it gives some information here about the property. Transfer history. This is where we see it, okay? Barry Morphew did a quit claim August 5th of 2024. So was he realizing maybe that he was getting close? I've also got that Iris Eaton, whatever how you want to pronounce her last name, did remove herself from representing him a while back. But here's the quit claim. It was done on August 5th of 2024. They bought it back in, I've got here, right here, 2011. Barry Morphew got this property. Now, it's saying here just Barry Morphew, but I know his mother was on here. She was living in that home. Okay, so current deductions. So these are the deductions. These are, we're going to see this, the land transfer. We're going to see here taxes and payments. So right here, you can see the taxes on the property. They're over, I think they're $3,200. But we can see here, okay, spring breakdown, fall breakdown. This is due November 10th, 2025, and this was due May 12th, 2025. And Mallory, look at this. Mallory paid the full amount for the spring and fall installments in April of 2022. April 22nd, 2025, she paid all of the 2025 taxes. Okay? So they're paid up. Where does she get this kind of money? You know what I mean? So this property was just transferred to her in August. And the spring and fall payments she made in April. Where does she get this kind of money to just drop on taxes? Instead of making the installments, right? Each installment would be $1,600. But she paid all of 2025 and she paid it in April. Before the first installment was even due, because this wasn't due. You can see here, this wasn't due until May 12th. This one wasn't due until November 10th, and she paid them in April. So I'd like to know where she's getting a lot of this money. Ownership, property assessment we've got here. The property is assessed at $302,000. In January of 2024, it was assessed at $261,000. In 2023, it was $264,000. Property card record. Let's see what this is. I haven't seen this yet, so see, this is when it was still registered to Barry. Let's just see here. Evaluation record. See, land, building, and title. Land, building, and title. So, appraised value. So going right back to 2018, the true tax value was only 171,000. And net in 2024, it went to 220 and then 261 with the total of the land and the building. Went from 191. So this is land and building. This is the total. To 261 in 20, and I know it's gone up since. Oh, Lady D, I hope you recover quickly. Hello, Spunky. What else can we see here? Ownership information. So if we look at this, okay, give me 2 seconds here, you guys. I think it was on here. I seen it. Nope. Hang on a sec. I think it was here, maybe. Oh, yes, it's here. Okay, so let me bring this up. This is the property. It's off market. Single family. It was built in 2006. They're saying the estimated value now is $416,400. This is just information about the property. So here are the photos of it. That's the front. This is, I guess, part of the front here, the side maybe. The backyard. This is the living room. Now, this is where his mother had lived. And this is the home that he quit claimed to Mallory in August of 2024. So here's part of the kitchen. It doesn't look like it's updated that much. It's got old appliances. And like I said, this is the home where Barry's mother lived. This here is the picture right here of Barry, Suzanne, and the two girls when they're all wearing black. Let me see if I can pull that picture up. Hang on. I'll pull that picture up so you can see which one I'm talking about. If I can find it now. There it is right there. Hang on a sec, you guys. Okay, so this is the picture right there. This one here is right, this one, I believe, of Barry, Suzanne, and the two girls. That's what I think is right up here. I could be wrong, but that's what the picture I think it is. So I think like the pillows are weird. These are just like throw pillows. Yes, I do a monthly giveaway for members. Thank you, Boss Lady, for becoming a member. Welcome. Every month, at the end of the month, I do a giveaway to the members of something from my merch store. So welcome, Boss Lady, and good luck at the draw at the end of the month. So this looks like a guest room. This looks like another guest room. This looks like it could be maybe a sitting room or something in the basement. But that's the house that Mallory got. And this is the deed to it right here. Property assessment. There was more information. Transfer, current deductions, transfer, history. But this C.P. Morgan rings a bell with me for some reason. Okay, so let me get rid of this stuff. Hang on, let me quit sharing because I want to show you something else, but I need to get rid of this. Okay. Google Earth. File, open. Oh crap, you guys can't even see it. Okay, hang on. Sorry, you guys. Not with it today. Okay, so this is where Barry was living. Okay. And like I said, a lot of people are saying that Barry owned this trailer park and he did not. Hang on a second. Okay, where did I see that? Website, I think it's here. Here it is here. Okay, so this is the website for the trailer park. And if you go to call us, oops. Okay, well, that didn't work out. Contact us, maybe. Okay, here we go. This is who owns it. Stardust Trailer Park Tartan LLC. That's who owns the trailer park. Because a lot of people are saying that Barry owned this trailer park. He does not own the trailer park. It is Tartan LLC that owns it. Okay. Now, that is the trailer park that he was staying in. Let's see if we can. Well, there we go. Let's see if we can get a closer look maybe at it. Let's go over here. So these are like the little shops that are around it. You can see some of the trailers back in here. Wow, wonder if that's Barry's truck. Okay, let's go this way a bit. So here it is here. I guess you would go in here. I'm trying to get a good view. But there's a lot of little shops and everything that are around this trailer park. Like I said, you can see some of them back there. Let's see if we go down here further. We can't really get back in there, you guys. But like I say, you can see the tops of some of the campers here. It's not letting us. Let's see if we can maybe get around here and maybe see it from over here. See, this big plaza thing is blocking it. No, that's about the best picture we're going to get of it is over here. Yeah, this is, they call it Cave Creek. So So this is about the best view we're going to get, but you can see the trailers back in here. And if we go back this way, you can see it's not a very big camp site trailer area. Some are like add rooms or something on them here. People have added rooms onto these trailers. But this is where he was living. Hello, 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 everybody coming in. From Barry, Mark says, I don't know what that is meaning. There's Lady D and Summer Dawn, everybody in here. Okay, so let me just move this down a bit, get it out of my way. Okay, also, I have been trying to get the address for Mallory in Gunnison, Colorado, because now I don't know if she is going to take this off the market now, but I'm going to show you. See, here's where he was, and this is, whoops, it should go this way. So we're adjusted here. This is north, this is south, this is west, this is east. Mallory was living up in Gunnison, which is up in this area. Gunnison, right here. Mallory had a condo here in Gunnison. Now, from what I heard, is she has put it on the market. But now that Barry has been arrested and he is going to be in Colorado here again in this area, actually, he is going to be down here in this area. I should find, let me find the court. Alamosa County Court. It's saying here. Well, here's Alamosa Municipal Court. Okay. Right here. Let me pin that. Oh, that's not it. Ugh. Oh, yes, it's right there. Let's put that large, extra large, because we know that it is where it is. Okay, so here is the court where he is going to be attending court. And she is all the way up here in Gunnison. So how far is that as the crow flies? That's 155 miles. So yeah, she may still sell her condo and maybe get something, rent something closer to here. Because Mallory, the oldest, is going to be standing by Daddy 100%. Macy, not so much. So this is where court is going to be held for Barry. And where he was before was up here in Salida. So we'll keep this up. Alamosa County. That's where he's going to be going to court. So he was arrested in Gilbert, Arizona on the 20th. A lot of people were saying that he was arrested on the 18th. He wasn't. That's when the grand jury indictment came in. He wasn't arrested until the 20th. Uncle Jed says, renting a space, owned the trailer per Maricopa County parcel record. Rumor was he did maintenance or something. Yeah. Well, any trailer park, you have to bring your own trailer unless you happen to get one that's for sale or whatever there. But the land is always rented. So at any time, he could have pulled his trailer out of there and they would have just let somebody else pull their trailer in and re rent that place out. But that's pretty much because I had a mobile home. It was like 52 feet long anyway, and I put an outer room and everything on it. I owned the trailer, paid for the outer room to be built and everything, but I did rent. I had to pay yearly fees for the year-round trailer park that I had my camper in, and I didn't go up much in the winter anyway, but every time I could get up there in the summer, I did. When I moved away from there and I sold the trailer and outer room as a package, and they had to get the okay first through the trailer park. The trailer park does a history, criminal record history, and everything to see if you can leave it there on that space, and then you can just take over the rental. Maybe you got the space for free. Yeah. Who knows, right? Macy is the youngest. Mallory is the oldest. They did give him bail, 3 million cash. You can't put up a house or a car or have somebody sign for you. It has to be 3 million in cold, hard cash. No, Macy is the youngest. And it seems to me that the businesses and everything else, I do have that somewhere, you guys. Like I said, it's still on my other computer. He did that a while ago when they sold the house in Colorado on Puma Path. He moved to Indiana and then Arizona, I think. He started up a couple businesses and he put them in Mallory's name. Everything is Mallory. Nothing has been put in Macy's name. Everything is in Mallory's name. So I think that Mallory is the one that he trusts. I think Mallory is the one that if both of them do still stand by him, well, we lost Willow. I don't know what you mean by that, Nana. Nana? I have a funny feeling that Macy is going to turn her back. So also I've seen all over, not so much here because you guys know me, my brother, and then Martin and Jules. We became a huge team. We know what's gone on because AK and I have been on this since day one. Martin and Jules joined in later down the road. But we all know exactly what happened, the time frame, everything. And people are saying, oh no, he was just dismissed a year or so ago. And then, no. May 10th, 2020 is when Suzanne apparently went missing. A year almost to the day later, on May 5th, 2021, Barry was arrested. A year later, in April of 2022, his charges were dismissed without prejudice. Suzanne's remains were found September 22nd, 2023. And then the indictment came down, the grand jury indictment came down on June 18th. He was not arrested until June 20th. So a lot of people are saying he was arrested on the 18th. He wasn't. That's when the grand jury handed down their indictment. He wasn't arrested until the 20th of June. Who on earth would move her body much later, add bite clothes, and know where she was located in the first place? He had help. Okay. I believe she was moved, and I've said this since the beginning 3 times. So the first initial dump place, then they did what they did to her body. They placed her somewhere else. And I think once he was dismissed without prejudice, he gave it some time and then he moved her again to where she was found. And it's almost, and there was a tip that was called in. And I wouldn't put it past Barry to call in that tip himself because he couldn't collect the life insurance for 7 years, right? Because they hadn't found her. They couldn't prove that she was deceased. They had no like site where her life was taken. So usually if you can find the site where her life was taken, usually there will be enough of the red stuff or some indication that nobody could have survived what happened there, right? They didn't have any of that. So he would have had to wait 7 years for her to be declared deceased to claim the life insurance. Well, her remains were found. When her remains were found, the bones showed that they were bleached. There was some kind of bleaching done. There was no hair, none. So she was dumped where they found her. And the biking outfit that they found with her had no decomp on it. So that's not what she wore when whatever was done to her was done. I'm sure we're going to hear about it in trial. Courtney, I don't know if he is going to be back. This took a toll on him, and I do believe he may be called as a witness to certain things. I can't get into that. That's up to him if he wants to talk about it. But I'm not sure he's going to jump back in on this. Martin is around. We'll have to wait and see. Let's not put any pressure on him. Like I said, this took a toll on him and his wife, and I'm just going to leave it at that. That's his story to tell, not mine. But don't give up hope. Okay, also, I want to thank Brigitta, Lacey, Foxy 261, Sam T, and Butterfly Chick for your PayPal donations. I appreciate it very, very much. So Iris Eaton basically took the money and ran. She will not be representing him again. He was arrested in Maricopa County in Arizona. And I just showed you at the beginning. If you are just joining us now, go back to the beginning and you will see the 2 lawyers that have joined on for a limited manner for the initial appearance only. Nobody has gone on record yet as being the lawyer for Barry Morphew. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys have been asking about Jeff Puckett. We know that he has passed on since his interview that he did, and he basically said, if it's not Barry Morphew that did it, it was aliens. Because he blames nobody else by everything that transpired. He's saying it's Barry. Okay, and he worked for Barry. Now, the man, Jeff Libler, that Suzanne was having an affair with, I do not think that he's going to be brought up in this part of the second trial here. He was cleared. He's from Michigan. He was cleared. He was nowhere in the area at the time. So he has been cleared. Jeff Puckett was cleared. Now, the other thing that I came across was there was an article that as far as this BAM is concerned, what they found in Suzanne Morphew's bone marrow, that there is the only people that can get that are government officials like wildlife services, national parks, and stuff like that. They spoke with everybody in Colorado and nobody has any missing doses. The only civilian that had the BAM anywhere in that area of Colorado was Barry Morphew. Okay, it's a restricted toxic drug that they use to um, paralyze for a time. I don't know how to say it. Um, Animals so they can be moved or transported, or if they need any kind of medical attention, they can use this, and it just basically paralyzes them for a bit so they can either relocate them or do some medical procedures on them. And that's what was found in Suzanne Morphew's body. Okay, so let's see what else I've got here. I wanted to get that out about Jeff Libler too, because he is no part of this. Even though him and Suzanne were having an affair, he was no part. He's an old boyfriend from when she went to high school. She kind of dated him and they had reconnected 2 years prior. I guess they had like an affair. They had met up a couple times, whatever, but he has been 100% cleared. Jeff Puckett is the one that worked for Barry, and rest his soul. He's also the one that told law enforcement and the world. He went on a few different podcasts and YouTubers, and he said that they weren't even supposed to go until Sunday evening to this job site, and Barry brought absolutely nothing needed for the job. And Jeff was pissed off because they weren't supposed to leave until that night. Barry had left earlier. Barry lied. He said that he was at the job site when he got the call about Suzanne missing. And like the neighbor had called him, okay? He got to this motel in Broomfield at 12:30 and he never left until 5:55 or something like that. But apparently the neighbor called him and said, "Look, the girls are concerned because they can't get a hold of Suzanne." So he told the neighbors, he says, "Well, go and check over at my house and check for her bike." Okay, why would you say check for her bike? Then he said, "Well, she said that she was going to go for a bike ride when I seen her before I left." Which, no, it didn't happen. So they went and checked and her bike wasn't there. So he had initially said that Suzanne had said that she was going to be going for a bike ride. So when the neighbors went and checked and her bike wasn't there, they called Barry back and they said, "Okay, her bike isn't there." And he immediately said, "Call the sheriff." Well, wait a minute. Why would you say call the sheriff? If it was true that she had told you she'd be going on a bike ride, why would you immediately say call the sheriff if you thought that she was supposed to go on a bike ride? Anyway, there was a lot of stuff. The bike was found just down the road, and then the helmet to the left when he turned onto 50, saying that he'd seen a moose. That's why he was down there. And that happened to be a quarter of a mile down the road where they found her bike helmet, where he said he apparently seen an elk or a moose and he wanted to see if he was going to drop his antlers. Well, they had already passed the months that they dropped their antlers. So that was a big lie. There's just so much lies, you guys. And Linda Stanley, from the first time they had arrested Barry, she had gone on a podcast, and I was in that podcast, not on that podcast. It was a YouTuber. I'm not going to mention his name because I'm not going to give him any shout outs or nothing. So please don't put it in the chat. But this is an ex-cop, and it's not McDonough. Okay. This is an ex-cop that has this huge platform on YouTube. Linda Stanley goes on his platform and she's talking about the case. just after Barry was arrested. And I put in the chat, this is not right. You guys should not be talking about this. This is so wrong, and you both should know better. You're the district attorney, and he's a cop or an ex-cop. And I got blocked. Well, it was brought up in when they did drop this, dismiss this. She was reprimanded, and that was one of the reasons too that she was disbarred for talking about an active case on this person's YouTube channel that kind of, just by the name of it, would indicate that he is a guilty and evil person. Okay? That's all I'm going to say about that. And I hope to God he don't cover it this time. He was part of the problem, and they both should have known better. But it was brought up as one of the reasons why she was reprimanded, and she lost. She was disbarred, fired and disbarred, and for not turning over exculpatory evidence, not turning over disclosure. Like, there was just so much that she did wrong in this. But this time, I do believe that they have a rock solid case. They would not have brought this again and recharged him again, because this is going to be their last chance. They were not going to bring charges again until they knew they had him by the kahunas. That's what we're going to say, kahunas. Let's see what some of you guys are saying. Can you imagine having Barry and Lori in the same jail, along with Chad and everybody else, right? Yes, rest in peace, Jeff. Jeff Puckett. CP Morgan Chase is Chase Bank. They did have bank accounts there. He's okay, Courtney. He's okay. But I think he may not want to jump back into this, at least not right away. Sugar Beat says, I remember the whole show. Hello, Norma. Hello, Karen. And Sugar Beat. Yeah. It's crazy. Now, yes, and I did find out about Shoshana. Let me get this. Hang on. Okay, let's see what she says here. Oh, that's the Daily Mail. Hang on. Okay, hang on. I do have it. Somebody, oh yes, I know where it is. Summer sent it to me in Facebook. Give me 2 seconds, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so Summer sent it to me. Now, do I have it over here? Let me just see if I have it. If I saved it. Okay. There's one. And here's the other one, I believe. Okay, so let me put this and let me put this. So thank you, Summer, for sending me this. Okay, so what else? This. Okay, so the Colorado woman who fell for Barry Morphew. Let me just get rid of this for a minute. And this, and get back over here. Okay. Colorado woman who fell for Barry Morphew after his wife's disappearance has ended their relationship and her silence. Obviously, this is my worst fear coming true that he could be responsible, Shoshana Dark told the Daily Mail in an exclusive interview in tears after her ex's arrest on first-degree redrum charge for Suzanne Morphew's 2020 death. Dark 55, now living in Durango, Colorado, says she's conflicted about Morphew 57, whom she met 5 months after Suzanne vanished and stuck by for 4 years. On one hand, he's such a kind, generous, loving person. On the other hand, I've had my own experience with him when it hasn't always been that way. We heard that too, right? From Suzanne. She hesitated to describe the dynamics that caused her to move away and the relationship to fizzle in 2024. When asked if Morphew abused her, she said, not physically, but there's other kinds of abuse. We heard that from Suzanne too. He was destructive, she added. He seems to be a very broken man. Dark said she told herself that evidence against Morphew was merely circumstantial and that authorities would drop their investigation after his first redrum charge was dismissed. She said Morphew never wanted to discuss it when she asked him about his wife's disappearance. He just wanted to heal and move forward. In hindsight, she realizes she didn't push those conversations. I guess there was some cognitive dissonance on my part, she said. It's something you can't even comprehend. That somebody you thought was a good person could even be capable of doing, something like that. Dark moved to Durango when the relationship grew strained, and said she last saw Morphew in Arizona in 2024. He was struggling then for sure, she said. She further distanced herself from him upon learning of the BAM found in Suzanne's body, and she said she since has been working with a therapist to understand dynamics involving control and narcissism that harmed their relationship. I'm still trying to figure out who he was, if not the person I thought. It's still a process for me to sort things out in my mind and heal. So I think she now believes that he did it, right? Right? He had to promote that book, right? The boss lady says, I heard the girls got some money from Suzanne's life insurance now that there's proof of death, and they gave most of it, if not all, to Daddy Dearest. That would not surprise me. I believe that the girls would have got whatever was coming to them, but I don't think, because he was still under suspicion, I don't think he would have got his share, whatever was supposed to go to him. But I can guarantee you, we just heard from Shoshana too how controlling he was, and it came out in the cards too. Hey, Sonja from South Africa. Welcome. Yeah, she may know more, but she may have been asked to keep quiet until trial, because guarantee you she's going to be brought in for trial. I can almost guarantee you. So apparently, from what I'm hearing, is Macy did live near her dad. Lord knows where she's living now. Maybe she's living in that trailer. I don't know. I've heard two different things, and I can't verify either one. I heard that she had been living near her dad, and I heard that she was also living with Barry's mother. But I think Barry's mother has passed away. So those are things that I have to still look into. So if Barry's mother is still alive, I believe Macy is living with her. If she's not alive, who knows where she's living. I heard that she had been living near Barry, though. And I heard that Mallory had put her condo up for sale. They're going to be liquidating a lot of things. I think they may liquidate the two businesses that are under Mallory's name, that Barry put under Mallory's name, the house in Indiana that they put under Mallory's name, the condo. I know that Puma Path, obviously, he sold that, and the lot, he sold that. And he also got the money for another home that him and Suzanne had lived in Indiana before moving to Puma Path. So that is sold. Like there's a lot of money being bounced around place to place. And it seems to me, thank you, Karen. And it seems to me like Mallory is his go-to, not Macy, not his mom, Mallory, which I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me for many different reasons, knowing how many times Suzanne was moved, right? And Macy is the one that was still living at home with Barry and Suzanne. Macy's the one that was in the conversations and the text messages that were going back and forth. And Macy's the one that said, Mom, just leave him, divorce him and leave him, right? And she's denying saying that now, but it is in the text messages. You can't deny it. Let me see what else I've got here. If there's anything else that I wanted to go over, but that main thing there about the Stardust trailer park, the Stardust trailer park, I wanted to get that out there really quick because they are worried about people coming and maybe trying to damage trailers or damage the park because somebody put out there into the world that Barry owned this trailer park. He does not own it. He may have owned his trailer there, but it's all, each one of these lots here that you can see, you own your trailer, but you rent the space. And that's the same at almost every trailer park. Whether you stay there year round or seasonal, or if it's a combination park of both year round and seasonal, you still rent that space. You don't own the space. You may own the camper or trailer or mobile home, whatever it is on that lot, but you don't own the lot. You rent it. So it was for hundreds of miles that nobody had Bam but Barry. So her remains were found 40 miles from the home off Highway 17. We knew that. No signs of trauma to her remains. There was no decomp at the site she was found, no hair. There was BAM found in one of her bone marrows. The bones seem to have been bleached, so I hate to think about what they did to her body. But the medical examiner said that no, she lost her life somewhere else. So what I think Barry did was he hit her with the dart, took her somewhere out far away so he could do whatever he wanted to do to her remains. And he was also, come on, out in this area where he had a buddy that lived up in this area. Okay. Her body was found right here. Also, way up here, this is where he was supposed to be working. This is the area where he was disposing in 5 different places, disposing of items, where he said that he was building this retainer wall. No. Keeping a low profile. And he had probably initially moved in with Shoshana, but needed to keep his own address, right? Who knows? But she chose a side, and he won't forget that. Yeah, right? So we will have to wait and see, you guys. So if you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe and hit that notification bell, set it to all, because as soon as I'm the first one to bring out this new information about the lawyer thing. It was just thrown into the record like half an hour before I came live. I'm watching these dockets and everything closely, unless it's like late at night, because they're 3 hours behind, right? Me, I'm on the East Coast. So sometimes by the time they put things into the record, it's like 8, 9 o'clock at night here. I'm already in bed because I'm up at 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning. So, but if it's during the day, I've got my eyes on it, whether I'm out and about or whatever. I've got it on my phone to websites, and I am constantly watching. So if you've not subscribed, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this video a like. Get it out there so others can see it too. And it helps support the channel. I know a lot of yous can't afford super chats and stuff like that. It's a lot of work to get all this stuff together. So I know a lot of you can't afford the super chats, but subscribing and liking the video helps just as much, and I appreciate it just as much. Aw, thank you, Sugar Beet. And hang on. And you guys know that who have been here for a long time. Look at some of you guys, 41 months. Some of you guys have been here since the beginning, 5 years ago with me when I started this channel. You guys know I put out verified information. If I can't verify it, I usually won't bring it up. If I do bring it up, I let you know it's not verified. I've still got to look into it deeper, but this is what I'm hearing, right? So if I say it's verified, you can take it to the bank, okay? I don't do anything for clicks and views. I don't throw something up. If I don't have new information, I don't put new, breaking. I don't do all that clickbait stuff. So, if I come live or if I post something to my community tab there, the posts, it's because it's new, okay? I'm not going to clickbait you. And I'm going to do my 100% best to verify everything before I bring it to you. And if it's not verified yet, I tell you, this is not verified yet. I've got to look into it. I get the documents like I just showed you now, and then I can say I verified it. I didn't want to go live. I heard about this quit claim on this property in Indiana, but until I could get the records and see it for myself, I'm not going to put it out there because I want to make sure it's verified. So if I say I have not verified this yet, but a lot of people are talking about it, that is why. And then once I do verify it to be true or not, I will come back and let you guys know, no, that's not true. Or yes, that is true. So with that being said, let me just check one more time before we end the live to make sure. Limited appearance, media, preemptively granting request, standing order limiting pretrial. Okay, there is nothing yet there for Barry, so no court date yet. And let me just check the Koberger thing quickly. There's nothing new on the Koberger either. So I will end it like this. I am watching the Koberger case very closely. I am watching the docket there to see when that order comes down, to see if the Judge Hippler is going to continue the trial. Let's hope not. Let's hope that trial goes ahead August 11th. And I am closely watching the filings on Barry Morphew also. Okay? So with that being said, thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for being kind to each other in the chat. Everyone is safe here, no matter your opinion, as long as it's done respectfully and don't attack anybody here in the chat or myself. You're free to disagree with things. You're free to agree with things. You're safe here. I run a tight ship. My mods run a tight ship. And it's because I want people to be able to come here and know that they are safe to be able to talk freely and they're not going to be attacked. Give me 2 seconds. All right. And you're going to get verified information. You don't have to ever question it. So with that being said, Joan Terrell says, please take Martin and AK investigation to Ann Kelly. That's already been done, Joan. That's already done. Like I said, that's not my story to tell. That is up to either Martin or Kurt. But give my brother a break. He needs to he needs to think about it to see if he, I don't want to pressure him. I have seen Martin around certain places, so I know he's still on this. Now, whether they can say anything, we don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. Just like everybody else, right? They know what they can talk about and they know what they can't talk about. They know more what's going on, and that's not my story to tell. But keep them both in your thoughts and prayers as we go forward with this case all over again. Okay? So, yes, take care, everybody. Please stay safe. Always be aware of your surroundings. Thank you, mods, for keeping things in check. I love you guys to the moon and back.